kind of attack City like that for a long, long time. They looked as though they were kind of out of sorts a little bit. I'm looking at Kyle Walker, who I think a lot of thinks is a very, very good player. It just doesn't look comfy with Alan St-Maximin. He's inside, he's outside. Sometimes he's kind of putting not only himself but Stones in difficult positions by sort of not winning the first ball, and then Stones has to come across. Now all of a sudden there's areas there, free areas, which the Newcastle players can get into and cause problems. And ultimately, that's what they've done the first half. They've caused City a lot of problems.
Yeah, we looked comfortable when we scored the goal. Good goal. And then I thought, brilliant. Another normal day at the office here. Yeah. And then Newcastle kicked in and we've looked almost a little bit rattled, Trev.
Yeah, I agree. I think you can't underestimate Joe Linton and the work that he's doing out of possession, breaking the ball down, winning balls, playing it to players who are causing us problems, mainly Alan St-Maximin. I think the running off the ball by Willock has been excellent, like really aggressive, committed runnings in behind to stretch players and actually take players away to leave St-Maximin with one-on-ones. And he's drifting past most players on the pitch in one-on-one situations, but then his end product's been superb. The movement from Wilson has been excellent, and you know they've caused us a lot of problems. We do look a little bit disorganised at the back, a little bit like we've been ruffled a little bit, and we need to get our composure back, try and keep the ball a little bit better. But all credit to Newcastle. I think they've been excellent in that first 45 minutes.
So in the positives, in terms of our first goal there, goal by Ilkay Gundogan, the assist there from Bernardo Silva, which I know will have made you really, really happy. It was a great opening goal.
It was, yeah. I mean, it's Gundogan that actually plays the ball out initially, and then he just drifts into the box. He doesn't get picked up. I think it might have come off Willock or Joelinton, but they haven't tracked him. And first of all, if he's in front of you, you've either got to break your backside to get up with him, or shout to your teammate to pick him up. Nothing happens, and he's free as a bird, really, when the ball comes in, takes a really good touch and finishes it off. Incidentally, he has another really good chance later on as well to get another goal, but unfortunately not. But obviously that was the perfect start. You're thinking then, right, obviously at Newcastle, the fans are going to get right behind the team. That goal takes the wind out of them. But it actually didn't. You know, Newcastle got a bit of more encouragement, and then it just went from there. But listen, I think Pep's going to be not happy in that dressing room. I think he'll tear into one or two, if not all of them, because that for Man City is kind of a below, nowhere near what their standard is. I think we were talking off air. You'd mentioned something about West Ham, and it was just a different team the second half. I think he'd be looking for that in the second half. But having said that, they still had a really good chance right at the end with Diaz. He's got a great chance. He's got to get that on target, though. If he gets that on target, it's a goal, and it's 2-2, and it's a different story.
Diaz coming on during the half there because Nathan Ake has gone off injured, and just gutted for him. He's had this chance of a run at the team. He's done brilliantly. I mean, he had a great defensive header before he went off. Just gutted for him. Yeah, and the interception, it was offside, but he wasn't to know that where the ball was coming across. And I think there was a couple of Newcastle players back post ready to tap it in, and he slid across to intercept that ball. It's football. It's the most frustrating thing for a footballer, for any professional in sport. And injuries, it's a groin, it's a muscular injury. Sometimes you feel if you've done everything and you still get injured, you know, what chance have you got? So I feel for him. But big opportunity for Diaz, as Steve just mentioned there. He had the chance with the header. But listen, they're back in the team together. I think, you know, if you look at all four central defenders for Manchester City, they're my favoured too. They had an absolutely brilliant first season together. It's not quite happened because Laporte's done well and Nathan Ake's come into the team. But if these can hit it off and start organising the players around them, I think they can start firming it up at the back a little bit and start looking to create the other side. So as you mentioned, I'm looking to West Ham, Steve. So last away game of last season, you were in the studio with me, Trev.
Yeah.
We're very nervy first half.
Absolutely.
West Ham took the lead, and we came out in the second half looking like a different team. So if we're going to do that today, Steve, what's got to change?
I just think they need to settle down. Yes, the atmosphere is a bit raucous, but it's only 2-1. You know, there's another 45 minutes. We know how devastating Man City can be in the blink of an eye. You know, yet they've got 35 plus minutes. They just need to get a hold of the ball a bit more, be a little bit more patient. Yeah, listen, if I can't see Newcastle having that tempo from the start of the second half all the way through to 90 plus minutes, because that's just a monumental effort. I can't really see it. So they will actually just kind of blow a little bit kind of mid second half. So that's when Man City, as long as it's still 2-1, just keeping the ball, prodding, poking, can they get through? And then that's when the opportunities will come for them. I wouldn't be panicking too much. As I said, I think Pep would have kind of getting into them at half time, but I don't think there's any need to panic.
Kyle's been having a bit of a tough time
He has.
down that right-hand side.
Yeah.
What do you think Pep will say to him at half-time?
Well, I think it's decision-makings. You know, we've seen a couple of instances. I think the first one was where he broke forward, he was in a good position. I think there was a run inside. He had an easy ball outside to Bernardo, and he's chopped inside and just stick to your own game. You know, later on in the game, it was a header. He went and competed with Joe Linton, who was only going to flick it on anyway. But by going and engaging with Joe Linton and not winning the ball gets flicked on. It's St. Maximum, and then John Stones, like Steve mentioned earlier, has got to take that responsibility. Let everyone do their own jobs. Leave the midfielders to deal with the midfielders. Your only job in the second half and your main objective is to deal with St. Maximum better than you did in the first half. I think if he does that, you stop a lot of the good stuff that Newcastle are doing going forward, and then we can start getting into our stride and dictating play.
Do you think there'll be any changes at half-time? I mean, obviously, we never know. Phil Foden came off at half-time last week when we were beating Bournemouth. Are you expecting anything? Would you like to see anything?
I think the manager will be sort of saying to his players, look, you've got 5-10 minutes to sort of sort this out, because I think he'll be a little bit surprised as well with how many problems Newcastle caused them. But he trusts his players. He knows his players. Basically, we're sort of saying to them, listen, you've got 5 or 10 minutes. If things is not, I can't see it changing, then I'm going to have to make the changes. So, the boys, again, they're all experienced enough. They'll be having words to each other in the dressing room. I don't not fighting or anything like that, but come on, we need to step this up because this is not good enough. So they know what they've got to do. We'll just see how. It'll be interesting to see how they react at the very start. So the first 5 or 10 minutes to me says an awful lot.
I don't think it's complacency either. I just think how effective Joe Linton's been, just getting a little toe in here, the ground that he covers, and you think, you know what, he's never going to get here. I've got plenty of time to get my touch right and make the pass. And with his long legs and his stride and his determination, he's just unsettled the rhythm of Manchester City. So I think if you can just move the ball a bit quicker, expect him to cause you a problem, move the ball a little bit quicker and start taking this game by the scruff of the neck, I think Manchester City can get back in this game and go on to win it.
Yes, that's what we like, Trev. That's what we like, positivity. Thank you, as always, for sending in your WhatsApp questions. I've got a couple here that or one really good one that I'd like to get you, perhaps start with you, Steve, get your opinion on. For both, but we'll start with Steve, how long will it take before Newcastle are where we are, do you think? And that's come from Carl, the Salford Blue. And I think, obviously, that means in terms of new owners and...
Yeah, in all fairness, I think the blueprint is here, and that is pretty much everything, what they've done, not only at the club, but obviously the community as well, and the different infrastructure that they've set up. But for me, I think it's going to be a long process. No good going in, and listen, mistakes have been made with signings and stuff like that, and probably thinking you've got a great sign and it doesn't work out and wasted money. But for me, I think it's going to be between 5 and 10 years. I don't think there'll be a quick fix, being brutally honest. And I think if they do try and do it too quick, then more mistakes will get made.
You've got to have patience in this situation. You've got it, Trev?
Yeah, no, completely agree and echo what Steve said there. It's the old adage, Rome wasn't built in a day. Just got to improve things, the infrastructure at the training facilities, the academy, players that are coming through, because you can see there on the pitch now, players that have come through into the academy and on the bench. So you've just got to improve things year by year, keep on making good signings, keep on doing the due diligence and getting good people to join the football club. Not necessarily the best players, good people. And if they do that, they'll continue on that upward trajectory and they've got a chance of becoming something similar to Manchester City.
Love that. Thank you very much for the question there, Carl. Do send in your WhatsApp questions. I love you guys think of stuff that I never do, so please do keep sending those WhatsApp questions in. Now, we played a game in the first half, before the first half, about our Phil Foden. So Phil is making his 100th Premier League appearance today. He is the youngest player under Pep to do that, to get to that milestone. There is 4 other players, and we were asking Trevor and Steve if they could guess them, and they got Messi and they got Busquets.
I think Busquets is a good get, isn't it?
That was a shout, by the way. So he was 23 years, 183 days. There's 2 players missing in there that would make up the top 5. So
we know
players,
both of them by the silhouettes.
Are you just doing it on the silhouettes?
Yeah.
Because we've come up with 3. We've come up with 3, but looking at that silhouette there...
Do you want to go for the one on the left next to Phil?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's Jesus.
Is that, let's have a little look, is that? It is! Gabriel Jesus, 23 years, 103 days.
Yeah, and the other one definitely looks like him as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
100 appearances, Premier League appearances.
Yeah, and I think it looks like Raheem.
Is that Raheem Sterling? It is Raheem Sterling. So he made his 100th Premier League appearances under Pep. 24 years, 155 days.
I've got another good stat about Raheem.
Oh, go on.
100 goals under Pep. It's only 3 players. Raheem's one of them. Messi's the other one. And our own Aguero is the other one. 100 goals under Pep Guardiola.
Very nice. You know I do enjoy a stat. Thank you. So thank you for joining along, playing along with that game. You know I love our games. What we're going to come up with next. Love it. Right, gents, couple of minutes now until the second half starts. I'm expecting a big, out-of-the-block statement. We're back in the game quite quickly, Steve. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, they've just got to keep it tight. And we've seen, even when they were under pressure, just the quickness of sometimes a counter-attack and open defences, and it did Newcastle's on a couple of occasions. So, like as I said, you know, looking at it, I'm not panicking about it because I just think the quality's there. Just got to make sure. I mean, obviously the next goal is absolutely crucial. If Newcastle get it, then it's an uphill task for Man City, purely and simply because the crowd and all that kind of thing. But if Man City get the next goal, for me, they'll go on and win it.
We love a comeback anyway, don't we, Trev? We love a comeback. Villa, West Ham, we love a comeback.
Comfortably uncomfortable. Don't get rattled. Go into this game, have the intensity, have the quality, right, and believe in yourselves, because the way that we play, if we don't get rattled, we'll go on to win this game.
Yes. I love it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Steve. Thank you to Trevor. Thank you all for joining us. Half-time. So Newcastle leading City 2-1. But we love a comeback. We're the comeback kids. How many times have I sat on this sofa and said, we're losing at half-time, but hopefully at the end of the game, we'll be talking about a City victory, and we very much hope that that will continue today. So we'll be here at full-time discussing everything that happens in the next 45 minutes. And hopefully we'll be having a little celebration and talking about another iconic trip to St James's Park and another Manchester City comeback. So, as always, get your commentary now on the Manchester City app. The commentary is Alistair Mann and Michael Brown. We are listening to the commentary here in the studio, and it is absolutely fantastic, as always. And you can watch a full match replay of the game on City Plus from midnight, as well as some other incredible content. You've got to get yourself on there. I've still got to watch episode 4 of Together Again, Champions Again. You've got to get it. It's the most incredible documentary. You have to get yourselves onto City Plus. Right, we're going to go back over to St James's Park now. We'll see you at full time. Over to you, Ali.
Thanks, Natalie. The last time City trailed at half-time, well, you don't have to remember it too far back, do you? It was that Villa game, the last day of last season. Last time they trailed away from home at half-time, West Ham, back in May.